You just drag the plugin, drop it on the clip, and boom, the clip instantly has speed ramps. Speed ramping in Davinci Resolve can be a real pain, especially if you make videos that are really speed ramp heavy. Doing the keyframing on each shot can just take so much time, which is why I built a plugin that lets you speed ramp your shots over 12 times faster, and it takes just one click to add a speed ramp. So let's look at how the Super Speed Ramp plugin works. So to use this plugin, you're just going to first go ahead and download it, then open up that download. If it's in a zip folder, unzip that folder. If not, you can just go ahead and make sure Davinci Resolve is open, and then just double click on this superspeedramp.drfx file, and it will open in Davinci Resolve and ask you if you want to install Super Speed Ramp. Just click install, and we'll go over here into our effects library, come down to effects, and then scroll all the way down. I have a bunch of random ones installed here, but you'll scroll all the way down to Flying Filmmaker, and here we have the Super Speed Ramp effect. So here on our timeline, we've got a bunch of clips that we want to speed ramp. And if you've ever speed ramped a clip in Resolve before, you know the old way was an absolute pain. You had to turn on retime mode and then add a speed point and then stretch this out and then do it back and then go up here to keyframes and find your keyframe and select it, and then go ahead and change this to ease in and out, and then there we go, we got a speed ramp. Doesn't take that long. And then if you decide you want to trim that clip, then you have to trim it and then try to adjust this, and then that's weird and you have to adjust this, and the whole thing's a pain. It's just all in all kind of a disaster. But now it no longer needs to be a disaster because you just come over here to effects, grab our Flying Filmmaker Super Speed Ramp, and just throw it on your footage. And there we go, straight away we have a nice speed ramp on the beginning, nice speed ramp out on the end, and then we can just drag it onto our next clip, and then we have a nice speed ramp between those two clips. And by the way, this does work for regular non-drone footage as well. I'm just demoing it with drone footage because drones are what I do on this channel. Now, there are also settings here. If we open up our inspector, go to effects, here we have our super speed ramp, and here we have a few different controls. To start with, we have our start speed. So by default, the clip starts at 4x speed and then goes down to normal speed. If we want to make it go even faster, we can just turn this up to all the way up to 8x speed. And now you can see we have an even more dramatic speed ramp in. Or if we want just a very slight speed ramp, we can put this all the way down to 1.3. 1 is going to have no speed ramp. You can put it, let's say, at 2, and there we go. We have a lot less dramatic speed ramp. And then there's also the same setting for the end. You can turn the end speed up and get a lot more dramatic speed ramp, or turn it down to where we just have a little bit of a speed ramp, get that more easygoing ramp. And then there's also start duration and end duration. So if I want a very short speed ramp in the beginning, I can turn this down all the way to 0.05, and as you can see, that's just a super short, super abrupt. That honestly doesn't look very good. We could go a little longer and still get a short speed ramp, but a little bit smoother, or we can put this all the way up to 0.5, and then we get a very gradual easing in speed ramp here, and that looks very, very smooth. Probably for most things, you're not going to want to go to the very ends. In the middle generally looks pretty good. We can again do the same thing for the end. Now, if you don't want to add a speed ramp to both ends of the clip, in that case, we can just uncheck speed ramp in. Now our clip starts off at normal speed, but it does have the speed ramp at the end, or we can go the opposite way and only check ramp in and uncheck ramp out. Now we have a speed ramp at the beginning of our shot, but no speed ramp at the end. And then finally, down at the bottom here, we have interpolation mode, nearest, blend, or flow. In general, I do just leave this on nearest. It does a fine job. You can use blend. That can work well for some things. Sometimes it can cause some weird frame blending artifacts. And then optical flow will just give you a black screen. It just doesn't work with the way this plugin was built. And if you want to apply the same speed ramp to multiple clips, what you can do is just set up your speed ramp on one shot. Let's say for this shot, we want full-blown speed ramps, normal duration, but the fastest setting, and we want both ramp in and ramp out. So there we go. We have a nice fast speed ramp at the beginning and the end. Now let's say that we want to apply this to the next clip. We can just hit Command or Control copy on the first clip, go to our second clip and hit Option or Alt V, and this will let us paste the video attributes. For this, we only want to transfer the fusion effects, so we will check fusion effects, not check anything else, and hit apply. And now we have speed ramps on our next clip as well. And you can just go ahead and keep doing this down throughout your timeline, or you can even just select a bunch of clips and add speed ramps to all of them at once. And guys, if you want to get this super speed ramp plugin, if you're a member of my Flying Filmmaker course, you get this completely for free. It's already live for all members inside the course. And if you're not a Flying Filmmaker member, you can actually purchase just this plugin separately. And for those of you who are watching this video, I'm giving you a 50% discount. At least for now. I'm not sure if I will keep that discounted price. And link is down in the description if you want to get this plugin and save a bunch of time on speed ramping. Now, something you may run into that we actually are seeing with this clip here, after we've applied our speed ramp, the beginning of the clip is black. And why is that? Well, that's because there wasn't enough material before this clip started to be able to speed up to have our super fast speed ramp in the beginning. So what do we do about this? There's a couple ways we can fix it. First of all, we can just trim the clip, and then we'll just delete our speed ramp tool and re-add the speed ramp effect, and then we will be good to go. We've got our speed ramp added and we don't have a black section on the beginning. And then the other thing that we can do is turn down our speed. So if we just turn our start speed down here from 4 to about 2.7, then we can have our speed ramp without trimming the clip because it isn't using more of the handles of the clip to speed up than are available. Now, one of the best things about this speed ramping plugin is that you can actually trim your clips after you apply the speed ramp. So here we have our speed ramp on this shot. Let's say that we want to make this shot a little bit shorter. We can just trim it down and we still have our speed ramp all intact. We can also make it longer, and now we'll just keep playing for longer and then still have the same speed ramp at the end. And this just saves a ton of hassle and time with trying to fool around with repositioning your speed ramps when you have to retrim clips after you add speed ramping. So finally, just a little demo of doing it here on some actual shots. I've got a nice little fast-paced cut sequence here that I want to add speed ramps to. So first of all, I'm going to do this the old way, see how long that takes, and then do it the new way. And I'll just speed up the old way so you guys don't have to sit through it. All right, there we go, guys. The timer is stopped. That took right at 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes actually to do. And I absolutely hated it. I honestly don't like keyframes. That's part of why I built this so quickly. So now let's look at the new way to do this. Instead of all that, we're just going to go to our effects panel, drag super speed ramp and throw it on a clip here. I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to go ahead and copy that and apply it to all of the clips. And then I'm actually going to turn off the in speed ramp on the first clip because I don't necessarily want it to be speed ramping in. And I'm going to turn off my out speed ramp on the last clip. And we have our speed ramps all done for us. No extra fuss, no extra hassle. It's just taken care of. And if I do want to update these speed ramps, I can just go ahead and let's say go to 0.4 seconds on each of these. Then I can just again go ahead and copy and paste it across all these clips. And there we go. We have our updated speed ramps for all of them. Easy peasy and looks great. And you've saved yourself a lot of time. Now, this plugin does have a couple of other quirks that you should know about. And both of these are because the only way I could create this plugin and get it to do what it does was to use fusion tools to pull footage from outside of the ends of the clip on the edit page. And this causes some weird things to happen when you combine it with some other tools. The first one is stabilization. If you turn on stabilization and stabilize a clip and then add your super speed ramp plugin to it, you'll see this punch in right where the speed ramp ends, where it starts stabilizing the footage. And there's two ways you can work around this. First of all, you can delete your speed ramp effect, make your clip a little bit longer than you need it to be after it's speed ramped, and go ahead and stabilize that entire clip. Then make it into a compound clip, trim it to the length that you want it to be on your timeline after speed ramping, and then add your super speed ramp effect, and it will speed ramp it normally. And the other way you can get around this is to add your super speed ramp plugin and then make this a compound clip and then add stabilization after that. And that will get rid of the punch in as well. And the second quirk is, again, this is because we're pulling from outside the clip handles on the timeline. If you have super speed ramp added to a clip and then you go over into the color page and add motion blur, depending on how fast the motion is at the beginning of the clip, you'll sometimes end up with these weird ghosting double frame artifacts. This doesn't happen all the time. On some clips that don't have crazy fast motion, motion blur can work just fine. But if there is faster motion, you can get some of these weird artifacts. And the same thing can also happen with temporal NR because it uses the same optical flow engine. And if you want to use one of these effects on a clip in addition to super speed ramp, just delete super speed ramp, go ahead and add your motion blur or temporal noise reduction to a clip, and then drag the handles out a little bit so we have plenty of room to work with. Make a compound clip, drag the handles back, and then you can add super speed ramp and everything will work normally. And just complete transparency, occasionally there are some weird bugs and glitches with this plugin, which are not necessarily the fault of the plugin itself. It's just that the Davinci Resolve Fusion page tools that you have to use to build out plugins for Davinci Resolve just do tend to be a bit buggy and do weird things. Usually if there's some kind of a bug, you can just delete the super speed ramp plugin and add it again and it should fix things. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to get this plugin and save yourself hours of time manually keyframing things, the link to get it is down in the description. As I mentioned, it's 50% off. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep that price or not, but as of right now, it is 50% off. And again, it's also included completely for free for members of my Flying Filmmaker course. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, you can watch a video right here on how to edit drone videos, hit the like button and subscribe to see more videos just like this, and I'll see you in the next one.